What's going on, everybody? I wanted to take a minute. I know in certain places that I'm going to put this, we don't really have the most intelligent conversations. A lot of times we're in here just strictly entertaining each other or whatever. But this is going on my YouTube as well, and it's also going on my Instagram. But I wanted to take a minute to talk to y'all about this COVID-19 situation. Not to get into too much detail about the actual virus and all of that stuff, but just to take a minute to try to evolve this experience into something useful, to make sure, or try to make sure that at least some people would get a message of utilizing this whole situation and applying it to life. I see a lot of people are making a bunch of jokes and on the internet, a bunch of beer jokes and a bunch of games, quarantine challenges, and so on and so forth. Needing a quarantine bay and all of this stuff. But I wanted to take a minute to talk to y'all real seriously right now about this whole situation. As far as moving forward, once things go back to normal or whatnot, just the way that we think and the way that we think about life, you know what I'm saying? Will we take these things and these principles and utilize them to live and think better? Will we take these principles and use them to protect ourselves better and to protect others better, protect the people we love better? Will we look at these situations and even something as simple as loneliness, you know what I'm saying? Having to be without someone, you know what I'm saying? Are the things that we do in our relationships and the ways that we look at our relationships with each other, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? To think that anybody that we're next to is expendable, but then when we get in these moments where, half the country is on quarantine and alone, people have to be away from their children and shit like that. Do we look at these situations and take those and expand those out to the rest of our lives, you know what I'm saying, even once things go back to normal? Start realizing the things that's really important in life. Or is it going to be just a flash in the pan thing, and we're going to look at this situation and say, okay, this is something that we went through, it's over now, let's move on, let's try to forget about it. Look at how we have to interact with the people that we love now, you know what I'm saying? We walk up to our cousins or whatnot, we can't even shake their hand, give them a hug, or whatever the case may be. Family members. We have to have a whole different interaction with our kids. We have to make sure that our kids are doing certain things and all of this stuff. So take that and apply that to life going forward. You know what I'm saying? Appreciating the little things that we do to show each other love. You know what I'm saying? And doing more of it. The things that we say, the things that we acknowledging the best parts of people. From a sociological standpoint. But not only that, taking life seriously, taking life more seriously than we do. You know what I'm saying? The way that when we talking about touching each other, like I had a thought, an epiphany, and I was like, how many times, probably, just thinking, like, how many times possibly has the virus been spread because of someone's love for sex? Just like any other sexually transmitted disease. You know what I'm saying? Just like any sexually transmitted disease, how many times have you passed something on either to somebody that you don't care about or someone that you do care about just because you have a love for sex or whatever the case may be? This should spill over into regular life. Right now, everything that's being posted is either about coronavirus or sex, or lack thereof. That's everything that's being posted by the world right now. COVID-19 or lack of sex. needing to quarantine babies and making jokes of the shit, you know what I'm saying? And, or how afraid you are of the actual virus. How afraid you are of the actual virus. But somehow, some way, over these last 4 or 5 years, we don't even worry about things that can kill us like AIDS. We don't think about things that you'll have forever like herpes. And at this point, damn near half the world are porn stars on OnlyFans and shit. These are things that won't get thought about by most people. But if I can touch somebody with this video that I'm doing out of love and out of sheer concern for our well-being as people, if I could touch even a few people to go forward and look at this situation and look at how this has affected us as people, that would be a good thing. So at this point, man, I mean, we take a lot of things for granted, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've spent so much time in the house, and there's certain parts of life and certain aspects of life that I really miss, as far as seeing and visiting family and showing love and shaking hands and all of that stuff. You got to shake somebody's hand and immediately sanitize your shit just to be safe. Things that we did, and things that, you know, people, those things used to affect people negatively. If you shook somebody's hands and immediately pulled out some hand sanitizer, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you think my hand's nasty or something? Or you think, you know what I'm saying? But at this point and at this stage, we've been forced to have to do that in order to protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying? I hope that how careful we have to be now will spill over to how careful, and not necessarily to that point, but for us to be more careful with life and to value life and to value each other, man. That's what I'm just hopeful of, that we take something out of this whole negative situation and make something positive in our thinking. And that's it, man. To everybody out there, I hope y'all staying safe. I hope y'all staying sanitized, disinfected, with all that stuff. God bless you. I love you. Show off.